Hi guys, future me, just jumping in here to let you know for complete transparency that since I filmed this video I have actually sold on the California. I don't think it changes any of the opinions that I express in there, anything I show you. If you ask me about it now, I'd still have the same opinions about the van, so please do carry on watching, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. And if you're intrigued as to what I've replaced it with, because let's face it, the California was a pretty excellent vehicle, stay tuned because next week I'll reveal all. Hi guys and welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you around my Volkswagen California. It's a 2016 plate California Ocean, which means it's the top spec model. It was also a demonstrator, so it does come with quite a few added extras. We'll take a quick look around the outside first. It does look like it's going to rain, so we'll prioritise that. So on the driver's side, we've got the wind out awning. I won't demonstrate that for you, but it comes out quite wide to about here. And it's got a couple of legs that come down on poles. There's a pole for winding out the awning, which lives in the van. One of the best features, I think, of this van is the electric sliding door. It's one of those things that you think, oh, I don't need something like that. But once you've had it, you realise how useful it can be, especially if it's raining or you're carrying a load of stuff that you just want to dump quickly into the side of the van, just like that. We've also got a pop-top roof, which I'll show you a bit more later, and particularly from the inside. And on the top of the roof, there is also a 100-watt solar panel, which is a neat way of keeping your battery charged up. It's really useful. If you go for a one-night stay, I've found you don't need electric hookup. You can just run off that and the power that's already within the leisure battery. One thing I've added since I've owned the van are these wheels. These are Wolfrace 19-inch Munich GTRs. I have seen quite a lot of reviews and things on the internet that suggest that Wolfrace wheels are absolute rubbish. That has not been my experience at all. I've had them on here for about 3 years now. They don't get pimped and polished all the time. This van gets used quite a lot. It's my daily vehicle. And I've had absolutely no issues with them. The only issue, and it's a bit of a minor one, is these centre caps. Just this ring here has degraded a little bit. We have ordered some replacements for those, but that's not affecting the performance of the wheel, just the look of it. It's also been lowered, so the van is now on Bilstein B14 Komfort Lows suspension, which has dropped it about 5 centimetres from factory. I personally like the way it rides. I think it rides a bit smoother and nicer than it did with the factory wheels, but obviously that's personal preference. I've also got all-season tyres on the van. It is a 4Motion, so 4-wheel drive for those of you who don't know Volkswagens, and between that and the all-season tyres I've never had any issues with it driving in the snow. Admittedly we don't get that much here, but it's never missed a beat in any condition, so really good. Moving around to the back, we've also got the soft closed tailgate, which is quite handy to have, keeps you dry if you're loading in the wet. And as you can see, there is tons of boot space in here. As you can see, I've got a million duvets in here. That's because for some reason we had a surplus of them in the house and I just didn't want to give them away. Thought they might be useful, so they're sitting in here. If I just lift this up, we've got a shelf here. Obviously that does form part of the bed, but if you're not using it as a bed, you can remove that and then you've got all of this as load space, which is pretty useful. There's actually an amazing amount of storage in here, considering that it's just a short wheelbase van. So I'll show you in here. It's a bit messy. This is how the van gets used every day. So you've got some shelves here, and down under here you'll also find the water tank, and the water tank wraps really nicely around the gas cylinder, so that's all tucked away neatly in there. Up in here you've also got the feature that I think is unique to California's, where you've got 2 camping chairs stowed neatly in this zip-up area here, so you just can pull those out, but that's a really tidy way for them to travel without taking up space in the rest of the vehicle. The van has got interior blinds fitted throughout. This is the one for the rear. I personally find it easier to deploy it when the tailgate's open than try to do it from in the van, but again, it's just technique. That's my preference. So let's close that soft tailgate. it's not a soft tailgate, it's a soft closed tailgate. It's, you know, it's perfectly hard. And there you go. There is the handle that you probably saw to pull it down. For some reason I like pushing on the outside. Again, personal preference. Right, let's take a quick look into the engine bay. Nice and easy to open. So this van has the biggest engine power that you can get in a California. It's a 2 litre BiTdi putting out 204 horsepower. Not a lot to say about the engine bay. Other things to note, it's an automatic DSG gearbox, and as I've already said, it's the 4Motion, so the 4-wheel drive version. So on the passenger side, we've got the electric hookup point here and water filler. And then the fuel filler, don't get confused between them, is in here. You have to open the passenger door to open the flap, and then you've got your diesel and your AdBlue fillers. So I think that's enough for outside, and it is getting chilly, so let's hop in. Got grab handles on both the driver and the passenger side. This makes it easier to jump in. Right, that's better, it's a bit warmer. This button here is the one that you use to lock the van from the inside without activating the alarm, so you're not that annoying person on the campsite with their alarm going off. Starting with the cab, we've got quite a lot in here that you would expect to see in any decent modern car. The things that are really important to me in here are the heated seats and also the automatic climate control. It's a comfortable place to be when travelling, and both of the front seats are captain's seats, so can be swiveled round to use with the seats in the back if you want a larger habitation area back there. The stereo interface is the upgraded one, so it's got a colour screen, slightly larger screen I think, and sat-nav built in. It's got the usual things that you'd expect to find, so you've got Bluetooth connectivity for your phone. You can also use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. You have to do that via USB, which I think is true even of the newer versions. As I mentioned before, there are blinds all the way round, fitted from factory. There are windscreen blinds, as you can see there. Personally, I prefer to use the external screens, which were an aftermarket edition purchased by the previous owner that I inherited. I just find those easy to deploy, and I tend to stay on campsites, so there's no issues around, you know, needing to be able to get away quickly if you had to. The ones here do work fine. There's some magnetic ones that stick on these front windows as well, and they, you know, they're perfectly good. Again, personal preference, I prefer to stick the outside one on if I'm on a campsite. So there's loads of nooks and crannies in here for storing things. This is the one I tend to use most, so I stick my keys in there. I've got a thing for supermarket trolleys, stuff like that. And then over here on the passenger side, we've also got a couple of glove boxes, don't judge me, for all the stuff that's in there. And we've also got one a little bit lower down, so locking wheel nut is in there. Just move the T out of the way so that I can show you again another handy little space here. You've got a cigarette lighter, you've got a USB in here. There is one in this cupboard as well. So that's handy for like sticking your phone in if you want to charge it or plug it in to play some music. Got this slide out area where it's handy for your polo mints and stuff like that. Cup holders here. Bit of a first world problem. I find it a little bit irritating that there isn't a cup holder on the dash like there is in the transporters. These ones are fine, but they are a little shallow. They only hold a particular type of cup, so this fits really nicely in it, and it's reasonably stable when driving. As I say, first world problem. Just move that out again. Sorry it's a bit dark in here, but the conditions today don't really help. And then we've also got, which I always forget about, a cupboard down here where you can bung a bottle of water. Both of the front seats have got armrests on both sides. I tend not to use them, personal preference. Kerry uses them all the time, so handy to have them there. I personally like having a good old-fashioned key that you put into a hole in the ignition rather than a keyless operated thing. Again, personal preference, but it's quite good. You always know where your key is. We've also got the control panel up here, which is really useful. This is where you can open your pop top from, also program the heater and check things like the amount of water you've got in your water tank and the waste in your waste tank. It also confirms if you are plugged into electric hookup if you're on a campsite, for example. The diesel heater, being able to program that is amazing. It's one of the best things about this van. It's great if you know you're getting up early to go out in the winter. You can set it so that the van's nice and warm when you get in it. Or a particular one for me, if I've been photographing a football match out in the cold, it's really nice to know that I can nip into a nice warm van at the end of that. It makes a massive amount of difference. The California is great as a daily vehicle. This is my car and it works absolutely brilliantly for that. But of course it comes into its own when you move back into the camping or habitation area, whatever you want to call it, this space back here. So we've got the sink over this side, the tap just pops up like so. And then we've got a 2-burner gas hob with automatic ignition. Glass top on there. I think the newer ones come with that separated, so if you only want to operate the hob or the sink, you've got that option. It's never really been an issue for me having just the one lid on there. And then if we move a bit further back, again, this is one of the best features of the California is the fridge here. It's amazing how often I want to travel with something chilled, either because I'm going somewhere that's got a fridge, or just taking your sandwiches on a day out. It's fantastic. Again, it's one of those things that you think, oh, I don't really need that in a car, I'm only going to use that if I'm going to stay overnight in it. No, it's used quite a lot, is this fridge. It's really good. The other thing about the fridge is it doesn't look big, but it holds a massive amount of stuff. It's amazing how much you can pack in there. Again, you can set from the control panel up the front how cold you want the fridge to go, and if you set it to its coldest settings, it's basically a freezer. So again, you've got that option. I tend to run it on a relatively low level, and that's absolutely perfect for keeping stuff chilled. So underneath the hob and sink, we've got another load of storage. So in this side, got a pull-out cutlery drawer, bit of space underneath. I keep my plates there. Possibly not the greatest place because we also have a toilet in here. Again, this has got an aftermarket Brandrup tray specifically for holding this toilet, so it doesn't go anywhere when you're driving around, because that would be a bit of a disaster. Have to say, not use the toilet in anger, because we tend to stay on campsites, but it is really handy to know it's there if you did need to use it. Obviously, if you don't want the toilet, you get a shed load more storage space there. And just in this side, this is where you've got your, sorry about that, this is where you've got your valves for your draining your wastewater and also your gas on and off. Again, loads of storage here. I've got pots and pans, bowls, that kind of thing, a little bit of dry food. So yeah, whatever you want to put in there, it's quite handy. Got a little bit of space up front here as well, where I just stick general stuff that I might need access to. That's, you know, stuff that can be on show, because it's not stuff that people would want to nick. The other thing that the previous owners put on here are these little hooks where you can hang your coat. Again, another of those things that actually, when I got them, I was like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to need those. I'll probably take those off. But they are really handy for hanging up a towel if you stayed overnight in it, or a coat if you want easy access to it when you're driving somewhere, or you've got in and it's wet, you can just hang it there. Got the outlet for the diesel heater just down here. The diesel heater is really good. It does warm up the cab and the hab area really quickly. It can be a little bit noisy, so I do also have an oil-filled radiator in the wardrobe. I'll show you the wardrobe in a moment. If I'm on hookup, I tend to use that just because it's a little bit quieter, but the diesel heater is absolutely spot on. Say you've gone to the seaside for a day and it's cold, wet, windy, horrible, and you just want to sit inside, keep cozy and look out at the weather. It's absolutely perfect for that. I've also got storage under this seat here. Again, that's quite large, it stretches quite far back. This is where the pole for the awning lives, and this is where I tend to stick my clothes if I'm staying for like one night. It's perfect because it holds quite a lot of stuff and it's easy to access. One other bit of storage that's handily tucked away is this overhead locker. Again, surprisingly big. Amazing how much you can get in there. That's where I'll tend to put stuff like books, maybe my toiletries, also things like if I'm travelling with the GoPro, I'll stick that in there. So if you see the van out and about and you want a free GoPro, but it is a pretty old one, then that's the place you need to be looking for. It's amazing how much floor space you get in what is a fairly small van. I mean, this is 5 metres long, just shy of, so the length of something like an Insignia, and you have got all this living space that you can make use of. It feels slightly larger as well if these chairs are turned round, which we sometimes do. Believe it or not, there are 2 tables in this area. The first one is this slide out one, which is the one I use most of the time. It's really handy. It doesn't take up any space at all. Really easy to deploy, and when you're travelling, obviously it's great if you want to dine, but for me it's ideal if I want to break a journey and do some work, set up the laptop here and dial into a meeting. It's absolutely spot on for that. I'll show you the other one in a moment because it's tucked away in the door, so you guys are going to have to come into the van to see that one. So the other table I was talking about is here in the door. I won't get it out just now, but as you can see, it just clicks out easily like that and then just pushes back into place. Doesn't take up any space in the van, and obviously if you want to sit outside with it, it's a really good thing to have. Obviously it's meant to be used with the camping chairs that are stored in the back of the tailgate. You'll no doubt have spotted the seat covers by now. These are called Black Toucan. They're from a German company called Drive Dressy. The seats that are factory seats are quite a sort of cream light coloured, which seems a little bit crazy in a camper van. They are in decent condition, but I just thought they were a little bit dull, wanted something a bit funky, and obviously putting the seat covers on will keep those original seats in better condition. I like bringing a little bit of personality to the van. The seat covers weren't cheap, but they were comparable in price to some of the other seat covers that are in vogue when I looked into it. I would highly recommend them. It was really easy to order them. You can pick from a range of fabrics. You don't have to go as crazy as the Black Toucan. There are some much more subtle things. They came over quite quickly. Really good customer service, and they were easy as anything to fit. They've been on for, I think, 3 years now. And we've had to fettle one of them once, and that was really recently. So once they're on, they stay on. The only thing I've noticed, that I actually noticed yesterday, because I gave the van a little bit of a clean before making this video, is that the driver's seat has faded a little bit, the seat cover on that one, presumably because it does get a lot of use. The other ones are all in pretty good nick. This is also where you will find the van rats that travel with me most of the time, and hot water bottle Percy, who comes in handy on those really cold nights. Just a bit more storage to tell you about. This is an aftermarket thing fitted by the previous owner. You've got 2 pouches here, which are quite handy for storing things. I think in the newer Californias, a plastic version of this comes as standard from the factory. They also fitted, the previous owners also fitted this shelf here, which is handy for stuff. And then we've got the wardrobe in here. While we're here, I've got my light up unicorns here as well. Again, just bringing a little bit personality and individuality to the van. Wardrobe in here, so we've got the plastic regular door and a tambour door. It goes really deep down here. You can store a load of things in here. It is handy. It's not the most practical of configurations because you have to delve really deep in there. I'm not sure how you would fix that. You could shelve it if you wanted. You've got a little rail there as well. It's a first world problem. It's easy enough to get on the seat and rummage around in there. So I've got a load of stuff in here. This is where I keep the external windscreen cover that I was talking about, and also the little oil-filled radiator tucks really nicely in here. Keeps it really secure so you can stand up when travelling. and a big water bottle as well fits nicely in there. And obviously you could fill this up with clothes or whatever you want to have access to. Handy having a little mirror here as well when you know, doing your makeup and all of that, or drying your hair. Actually, talking of drying your hair, there is an inverter in this van, and there are 2 sockets on the end of this kitchen unit. So you've got a regular 3-pin socket that you can use when you're plugged into hookup, or there is an inverter as well which can be used when you're off grid. This is a 4-berth van with 4 belted seats, so obviously you've got the 2 in the front and the 2 in the back. This converts into a nice, reasonably wide bed. I think it's about 115 centimetres. It's really long, it's the length of a proper bed, and a bed up top in the pop top, which I will show you in a bit. Again, that's a little bit wider and really long as well, so they are decent sized beds, especially if you consider the size of the van we're in. This bed is really easy to operate as well. If you've watched some of our other videos, you may know that Kerry used to own a 1970s bay window van. I always found the bed in that really hard to operate. I basically couldn't reach what I needed to reach to be able to deploy it. This one is really straightforward. I will attempt to film me doing it, but if that doesn't work out, take my word for it. This is a really easy bed to deploy. This does come with headrests, as you would expect for a belted seat. I rarely carry passengers and almost never carry passengers in the back, so I prefer to have the headrest down, and then that just gives me a little bit more visibility out of the rear windscreen. So this probably won't be flattering, but we'll give it a go. So you have to bring the seat forward, which is probably the most difficult bit. As you can see, it doesn't help when you're parked on a slope. So next thing we've got a little light fabric handle that we pull here, push this down, and if I've got my headrest in the right place, boom, jobs are good. And over here I have another aftermarket product, which is a mattress topper, which the previous owner bought. It's really good. It folds down so it fits really neatly into the boot. It's shaped round the structure of the van as well, so it fits beautifully, and when you want to use it, you just literally fold it out and you've got a bed all good to go. Obviously it's easier if you don't travel with the world's collection of duvets with you. Go on then, I've taken them off just so that I can prove how easy it is. And there we have it, one massive bed. In fact, let me kick off my shoes to demonstrate exactly how large this bed is. So I'm about 5'5", 5'6". My head is not against the back there, and as you can possibly tell, if you can't, I'll tell you, my feet are not over the end of the bed, so it is a really good size. And while I'm back here, I'll just point out we've got a control panel for the air conditioning in the back for the passengers in the back, and we've also got some little lights. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but that's handy if you are up back and you want a little bit of light, you want to read or what have you. So yeah, it's a really cozy place to be. It's easy to make the bed, and it's pretty comfortable, especially with this mattress topper on it. The other thing to note is that, of course, because you can pull the seat forward, you can travel with it in whichever position you like. If you want to move the seat further forward and have a huge load space out back, you can do that, and that's handy maybe if there's a few of you going on a long journey. Another thing to note is that these windows here, so this one and the one in the sliding door, do open, and they've got various notches, so you can have them fully open or locked into place anywhere along that line. So really handy if you're cooking or if you're somewhere warm and you want to ventilate the place. So one more thing to show you inside, and that is the pop top. So I will jump into the front and open that up now. Right, let's open the pop top. Simple as that. Just have to keep your finger on the button until it's gone all the way up. No faffing, having to fiddle with things and hoik them up and unstrap them and push them up. Nope, all straightforward. Push the button and boom, we have it. Let's go see what it's like inside. So here we are back inside. So obviously two things you can do with the pop top. First one is to give yourself a bit more head height. So let's just do that. So literally you just push this up. It's assisted, so just get it going and then it pops up like that. And clearly, as you can see, because I'm disappearing out of the shot, I can stand up in here at the front of the van, so it just gives you that bit more space if you want to stand up for cooking or more ventilation. So again, the previous owner has got these insulated thermal lining, but these do zip open rather ungainly fashion, and then the factory one also zips open for ventilation and daylight like so. I might open that up when I get up there so you can see it a little bit better. And how do you get up there, you might well be asking? Well, I'm not sure if there is a sort of standard practice for doing it. I basically stand on these seats and then hoik myself up, so I will attempt to do that for you and try not to make an idiot of myself. I'll see you up there. So literally onto there and then just sort of and hoik, and there we are. So I'll just film this bit handheld rather than try to get the tripod up here, but as I say, we've got this insulated lining and then you can open up. We do have a fly mesh here and it's really good for ventilation, especially like say you're parked up at the seaside. And again, the sides open up as well, but I won't show you those. Again, as I mentioned, this is a pretty large bed. It's got a mattress topper on it, which is the factory one, and I find it pretty comfortable. I know the newer ones come with those they Frolly springs. I don't have an issue with this one. It's reasonably firm, but I think it's comfortable. And up here we do have a couple of lights and also a 12-volt socket. Sorry, it's going to flash because of the settings, but it gives you an idea. So you've got a couple of lights up towards the front and one light there right at the back. This is one of the weirder places I've ever filmed. So as you can see, the head height isn't massive if you choose to sleep with your head at this end. Obviously you could sleep the other way around. I've done both. I'm not sure I have a preference, but it's absolutely fine this end. I don't particularly like confined spaces, but I don't find this an issue. It's fine. And the bed is so wide here. It's really good up here because you're not factoring in a wardrobe and things like that like downstairs. My preference would be to generally sleep up here, because then you can leave your downstairs just as you want it for day use. I'm a bit of a wuss, so I do find it a bit cold up here during the winter. Other people find it fine, and I'm sure I could do it if I wanted to. But yeah, it's really comfortable up here. It's really easy to make. I just keep a bit of a hack actually. Both mattress topper downstairs. If you put a single duvet cover on them, they cover them really well. It's a bit of a faff hoiking them in, but once they're in, you've got your mattress with a sheet ready to go. So if you're sleeping up here, you literally just have to bung up your duvet and your pillow and anything else that you might want during the night, but it's really quick to set up. So there we have it, my Volkswagen California. So a lot of people use these as a family camper van, and I can see that it would be great for that. I personally, I'm a big fan of space, so it works really well for me. Generally on my own, it's a great daily driver, so that's the main use I have for it. It's fantastic as a mobile office as well for me. That works really well, and for the occasional overnight. It's a fantastic day van. All of us go out in it to the seaside. It's perfect for that. If it's sunny, you bang the pop top up, you open the windows, you open the door, and you get a real sense of the outside, the sun and all the rest of it. And if it's in the winter, when we quite often go out, obviously pop top down, diesel heater on, hunker down, really cozy, nice and warm, looking out at the weather. Obviously you've got the option to cook up if you want as well, which is really, really good. well, that's all for today. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. You'll see us out and about in this van and also in our motorhome with our 2 dogs. I'm sorry they haven't featured today, but they do really enjoy having a van. And we will see you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching.